Well, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a Notre Dame versus NC State slash. Upon further reflection, let's look at all that's taken place with Notre Dame football 2023 edition of the Always Irish Show. Oh, baby, the voice is coming back. Johnny's back, baby. So is the Let Freeman Cook shirt. Get out of the way. Let the guy cook. Good things will happen. Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. Obviously, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny as well. Notifications on. You and I both know why. That way you alerted every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishandy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it in your ear hole. Call-in lines popping this year, baby. 312-988-15. You tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen. Instagram, Facebook, Always Irish Inc. USA Today, Irish Wire. Every day of your Notre Dame life that the good Lord blesses you. You get to wake up, roll over, grab that phone. Booty-doot-doot. Irish Wire. Read all about it. All right. Let's get into this. First and foremost, if you don't know about it yet, you're late to the party. Always Irish Tailgate Party, North Lot, kitty corner behind Touchdown Jesus for the Central game. You're all invited. I'm going to have a 20-foot flag. You ain't going to miss it. You'll hear me a mile away, baby. Let's do it. You're all invited. All right. Welcome in. Welcome back. Wow. Just a few weeks ago, you guys, it was the dog days of summer. We were all begging for football. We had all these questions. What's everybody going to look like? This and that. There's no football. We're all losing our minds. We just need football. We just need football. Here we are a few weeks later, and it's football out the wazoo, pro and college. There's a lot going on. It's just great to have football back, man. It's just great to have football back. So here we are. Notre Dame is one win away over an objectively lower level talent-wise team from achieving the first main goal of the season, which was building a 4-0 momentum bridge to Ohio State. So you're one win away from a team that you should beat physically 100 times out of 100. You're one away from that matchup we've all been dreaming of. Undefeated Notre Dame with the quarterback advantage, getting Ohio State at home in front of all of America. Should be getting game day too. That Clemson-Florida State game got announced as a noon game. They ain't getting game day. Colorado's getting it this week. Should be Notre Dame, Ohio State. And I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. Knock on wood, Central Michigan. That's what it should be. So we're one win away from all that. We are right on track. That's a big damn deal to me. I sit there and I look at those schedules in the summer and I do my programming and I look at breaking up the season into these portions and what we need to do to be here. And by this point, I want this there and this should be here. For the first time I can remember, Notre Dame is right on track. They are rarely right on track. They are right on track and it feels good. For once in the existence of this program, the roadmap we've written out for Notre Dame that we want them to follow, they've been right on it. They ain't hitting the rumble strip. They haven't gone in the ditch, and they haven't crossed over the middle line either. They're right on the line, baby. And it's beautiful. The most points scored in the first 3 games since 1932. You're doing something right. Oh, John, we didn't play anybody that good. I understand that. I still like that statistic. I don't care who you're playing. I like it. Give me the points. This provides a great inflection point. And I wanted to take a minute and kind of look at some big picture, take some stock of some big picture items around this program for where we're at right now. All right. Here's number one. I'm giving Marcus Freeman and his staff a ton of credit for how they've come out this year. I think the preparation has been good. The adjustments have been good. The organization of the operation has been good. This may be the best set of Notre Dame coaches and assistants I've seen in a very long time. I think so far, this operation has been running very, very smoothly with some tricky circumstances. The Navy thing in Ireland is a little unique, and then everything with NC State was unique. This staff's handled it very, very well. And Freeman and everybody involved deserves a lot of credit. That is very important. And we've seen some big name teams have some losses that we don't have right now. It just feels good. They're doing a great job. Number 2, Hartman is the tide that raises all Notre Dame ships. He just is. His presence permeates the whole fan base and program and team with a vibe of everything's under control. There's no panic. Like, we know we got a dude who can do what we need him to do. There's just no panic. Too many times that instability at the quarterback position for Notre Dame, where you're like kind of cringing, like, what are we going to get next? That vibe permeates the fan base, and the players know it. You guys, these players know when they have a dude at quarterback or just a guy. They know. They're not dummies. They know. All right? This is their craft. Those guys know the difference when you have a dude and when you don't. And when you have a dude, everybody plays at a different level because they know what's possible is at a different level. It raises the whole damn thing. And it's like, John, why are you kind of getting mad when you're talking about something good? Because I'm pissed off we haven't had that for 20 years. That's why. You need a dude there. It just calms everything. He is the tide that raises all ships of what's possible this year. Number 3, the depth. Notre Dame is building some good quality depth, and every recruiting class on top of it should add to that. This staff must be, their evaluations and development are starting to show to me they're a level up, way up from Brian Kelly. I think I'm starting to realize that. You have the blue chip ratio, but the way they are getting some of these evaluations on some of these not highly thought of recruits that we're getting good play out of that aren't like high 4-star, 5-star guys is impressive. So Notre Dame's beginning to build that high quality depth, and you're going to see more of it as these recruiting classes intertwine and overlap as we move forward. But that is a big takeaway so far. Notre Dame seems to have more guys on each side of the ball they can rotate and not suffer a big drop off in talent. You could never say that under the Kelly era. Under Kelly, a lot of times the first 22 would be good. You get a couple injuries, you're dead. Notre Dame's starting to build themselves out of that dynamic, and it's great to see. Tied into that, number 4, youth. Notre Dame has young guys that can go out there and play, and they look comfortable, and they're running the ball great, and they're catching touchdown passes and all that. Really great to see. Really great to see. That is such an important point. You're messing up the depth chart right away. You just have young guys you weren't counting on that. Now you can. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that youth movement is awesome. And that ties into the depth as well. And the 5th thing, the leadership's pretty damn good. The leadership's pretty damn good. I'm talking about from the messaging from the staff and from Marcus down to the players. They've handled everything. They've handled everything. And so I'm really happy with it overall. And that's rare for me to say. You all know I'm a tough judge in Notre Dame football. That, it's like you hold your kids to a different standard than somebody else's kids. They're yours. You have a different standard for them. That's how I am with Notre Dame. And so far, so good. Let's look specifically at some of the parts of this, especially after NC State. The further removed I get from the NC State game, I think the more I like our performance. And it isn't so much this play or that play. I think it's more overall the mentality and Notre Dame's understanding of the mission and the task at hand last Saturday in Raleigh. Battle all the odds, battle all the weather, battle all the ACC referees, battle how pumped up NC State's players and fans were, all that you had to do. Notre Dame understood the mission. It felt to me like they understood, like we did, looking at that schedule, that game was the one you had to have a win to make this all right, to be peeking into Ohio State. And so they did all that. They understood the mission and got it done. It wasn't fun. It was a long, tough day, a physical battle, stops and starts. They overcame it. They had to eat wieners in the locker room. They overcame it all. Good job. Good job. This team has leadership and resolve so far that I appreciate. Now, you lay an egg against Ohio State and all that, then we'll deal with that. But I can only deal with what I have in front of me and the evidence so far. And so far, it's been very, very good. All right. Quite frankly, this team's done all we've asked it to do so far. Think about it. They've accomplished all of their big picture goals. Things are on track, and it's great, and it's rare to say. Was the NC State performance perfect physically? No, it wasn't. Is there still things to work on? Sure. Are there still certain position groups that aren't where I need them to be? Yes. Wide receiver? Yes. But you need to, for this week, for Central, lean into what you're already good at and try and work on the other areas. So I'm not saying every position group is jacked and stacked and I'm perfectly happy with it. I'm not. I'm just saying they've kind of out-accomplished what I had drawn out for them. And I've never said that before. Notre Dame's won a lot of games, but I don't feel good about them in the past. That's a big difference. Like, a win is not just a win, it's just a win. When you're doing what I'm doing, I'm looking, there's levels to this. Half of the times Kelly won games, they felt like losses where we didn't play good. We had way more talent. It looked ugly, and you were just relieved to win. We're starting to build a different vibe and mentality, and it's exactly what this program has lacked and needed forever. So, no, it's not physically perfect. Every group isn't, 5-star level or whatever. But the big picture goals, they've done as much as you could ask. Now, here's the next thing. In no way do I want to overlook Central. That may be the hardest part of getting through the rest of this week for the fans, the media, and the players. That's a mistake. We learned from Marshall and Stanford. I personally think with Hartman around, I don't think it's possible for you to lay an egg like Marshall and Stanford. I think that guy's baseline level of play, even if he has an off day, should be enough you could beat those teams this year, those type of teams this year. I genuinely mean it when I say for everybody involved with Notre Dame, fans, players, media, the hardest part of this week is going to be focusing on Central and not letting your mind drift ahead to Ohio State. That is going to be the biggest challenge, and I am going to have to fight that too on this program, not letting my mind wander off too far down that road. Okay? We've seen a bunch of teams lose games they didn't think they were going to lose to open this year. At this juncture, you got to make sure, knock on wood, I said it on the morning show. If Notre Dame drops the ball when I'm having this huge tailgate party and have a group of 1 million people coming to this game, I can't come back to campus. So you better go ahead and get this win for old Johnny boy. I'd never have another tailgate again. I don't think I could show my face around there. So you got to get it done. You got to get it done this week. But I genuinely mean that. It might be the hardest part of the whole week. The whole thing here is focusing on Central and not letting our minds and our hearts drift towards that next week. But overall, you guys, things are trending up. And I'm looking at markers far beyond just win or loss. A lot of those preseason things I wanted to see, almost all of them, all of the boxes I wanted to see are checked, except maybe I hoped Tobias was like a breakout star by now, like more robust wide receiver reliability. Maybe you could say that. And then you can nitpick some stuff in the offensive line protection and running game at times. And then, the defensive line, you always want to get more pressure. But, man, overall, none of these games have been close in the end. And that is just rare for Notre Dame to be almost a month into the season and for us to say that. That is progress. The whole operation is building more margin in the program, having more wiggle room to work each week with the talent they have. These are all great signs, you guys. So things are trending up. You must just do what you need to do against Central. Take care of that. Healthy. and do what you need to do. Work on what you want to work on. Get Hartman out of there healthy. And then we all start that ramp up of what the following week's going to be, because that's going to be something special. And it could be something special, but we need to get through Central before I get too far down that road. Knock on wood, I didn't jinx it. So far, so good, though, you guys. The further away I get from NC State, the more I appreciate what Notre Dame did. They understood the mission of the day, and they made sure it happened. And whenever there's a big leverage play or whatever, Notre Dame ended up making the play. And I got to credit them for that. So very odd position for Johnny Boy to be in when I'm sitting here going, man, they're following my roadmap to the T. That never happens with Notre Dame, and it's right where we're at. Add more evidence to that this week, and then we have a buildup. It's going to be hard to match what the buildup for that is going to be, and we're going to have a fun time on this show the next week if Notre Dame is indeed 4-0 heading into that matchup. So everybody enjoy the relaxation of the rest of this week and maybe the Central game, because life gets real after that. That next 4-game window of Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, and USC isn't exactly Navy, Tennessee State, NC State, and Central. So I hope everybody enjoyed the relaxing second halves, because life's going to get real for Notre Dame. But Notre Dame's getting more real themselves. Think about that one. Have a good one, folks. See ya.